ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting game of high school varsity volleyball here on CPHS 6. Tonight's matchup, your Port Huron High Big Reds take on the visiting Warren Mott Marauders. Now just underway. Big Reds first with the serve, out of bounds, and point will go to Warren Mott. Now serving for them, Jacqueline Benet. Play at the net. Ball bounced around. Nice opportunity for Warren Mott. Nice dive by Dorr, able to keep that alive. Then eventually over by Easton. Goodwin with the set. Now to Easton. And blocked at the net and sent back. And another point for the Marauders. So Benet again will serve. And that serve into the net, so point for the Big Reds. And now they will send Sabrina right back to serve. Score is 2-1 in favor of the Marauders. That one played a little bit too far. Tapped over by the Big Reds, now played to the far side. Trying to strike from the back row was Goodwin. And tough shot, and that one travels into the net. So now a 3-1 Marauders lead here in game number 1. Again, these games go up to 25. Best 3 out of 5. And nice kill on the near side. That's Melissa Harville. And she wins the serve back for the Big Reds. Dragasevich now back to serve. Nice set to the far side. Try to drop it in. And blocked at the net, and nice net play by Cherish Coleman of the Marauders. Served by the Marauders, and a little miscommunication by the Big Reds as that one falls in. Score is 5-2 in favor of the Marauders. Sarah Mullins serving. And once again, finds the zone right between the front and back row and drops in. Serve this time handled. Nice set up the near side for Harville. Try to go right up the middle. Warren Mott blocked the net and unable to recover. Came down with him. Nice play again for the Marauders by Coleman. Number 13 in the middle. So now 7-2. Big Reds not off to their best start. Nice play by Dorr on that serve, and that ball tapped over, and we're going to get an illegal hit. And points and serve finally going to go back to the Big Reds. So stopping a little bit of a run that Warren Mott got on there. And now Miranda Dorr will serve. Great job digging that last serve out. Mott handles this serve well, tries to go back up the middle, had plenty of space, but just mistimed the jump was Coleman. So once again, Dorr serving. That serve short and into the net. That makes it 8-4 here in game number 1. In favor of the Marauders. Nice play by Gregor-Sevich, set by Goodwin, and then tried to play it at the net was Heath and just didn't get enough on it. And will fall down for another point for Warren Mott. deep serve played by Grigosevich, going to scramble now. And now Mott struggling. They're going to have to set this one over. Going to have plenty of time. Goodwin with the set. Got it to Harville, which is who they want to get it to. Especially at plays at the net. It was blocked by Warren Mott, but came down on their side. And nice play by Harville and the Big Reds. As now Melissa will go back to serve. That one I'm not sure ever really made it over, but right there, guarding the net anyway, was Easton. They got a hand on it. Mott leads 9-6. Very hard serve by Harville. And tough for Mott to handle. And we're going to have a violation here against Warren Mott. So that play is whistled dead, and we'll have a point for the Big Reds. Once again, a very tough and direct serve from Melissa Harville. One of the seniors in their last game tonight, they were giving mention to their seniors. That serve a bit long, and control will go back to the Marauders. They still lead 10-8 here in game number 1. And now have Allie Fleming serving. So we'll mention the seniors a little bit later, as they did address them before the game. Nice drop by Goodwin. A nice recovery by Warren Mott, and caught the recovery and then put it back home after set right back to her. Mariah Taylor. Nice play, and she's listed as a freshman. So very nice play by the freshman for Warren Mott. Now up 11-8. Heath with the play at the net, set up by Goodwin. Unable to power it home. Warren Mott gets control and then sets it into the net. So the Big Reds coming back in this one. And now Goodwin back to serve. And that serve sails long. Point for the Marauders. That'll bring in Autumn Kozlowski to serve. And that strike short and into the net. So once again, point for the Big Reds. Who in turn serve it into the net. Tough go around, and the Big Reds have to avoid and play mistake free, as we see the score there, 13-10 in favor of Warren Mott. Struggling with this serve a little bit. Nice set over. Recovery on the play was, I believe that was Savannah Ahrens. And now just down 2, 13-11, as Sabrina Wright subs in to serve. Big block at the net. Ahrens and Harville there. This one's gonna have to go over. Mott, time to set up on the far side. They sailed it a bit long. Grigosevich actually got his hand on that one at the net. And then diving into the net. And tough break, unable to dig that one out, and a well-earned point by Warren Mott. Jessica Michella now serving. And nice strike, had a lot of spin on it, and that ball just dropped at the net. Savannah Ahrens. And the Big Reds within 2 as Grigosevich sends back to serve. 14-12 the score. That set a bit long. Eventually came down on the Big Red side and struggled to recover it. Tipped at the net. Great play getting back. And eventually drops in for a hit. Nice play trying to play that one at the net. And now 15-12. Mott leads after in game number 1. Struggling to get this one over. And will eventually sail out of bounds, so Mullins will serve again. Once again, struggling with the serve, this one just to get over, and then miscommunication on the Marauders. We'll send the serve back to the Big Reds. Miranda Dorr. Set right up the middle and sails a bit long. They were trying to set it up for once again for Coleman. I think she had to adjust to it. The ball not exactly set exactly where she was expecting it. The Big Red's able to capitalize. That's the far side to the freshman and blocked and sent back, but went out of bounds, so it's going to be a point for Warren Mott. They lead 17-14 here in game number 1. As Jessica Lyon is now in to serve. That serve short and into the net. Ball will come back to the Big Reds, and once again back to Harville. She had a good run earlier serving. Nice set by Goodwin at the net. Big block by Warren Mott. Good job by the Big Reds to stay on top of it. And that one once again blocked, but that time sent out of bounds. Great play by Warren Mott there. You got to give credit to Coleman with the first block, with the first kill, and Taylor ultimately with the point. That one into the net. So this game's staying close. 18-16. Marauders lead. This one tapped over. Easton going up for it. And we're going to get a violation on the Big Reds. And that'll send Kozlowski back again to serve. Big Reds plenty of time to set it up. Got it to Easton, put a good strike into it. Warren Mott able to keep it alive. Great play by Jessica Lane. Line just to keep that one in. And that return sails out of bounds. Point Big Reds. Great play by Jessica Line, though, as Easton put a charge into that ball to even keep it alive. So Big Reds down 2. That one sails long, make that down 1 with Heath back serving. And we get a timeout now by Warren Mott. Dealing with the Big Reds coming back here late, as we see inside the Big Red huddle, head coach Megan Mitchell. And both these teams are MAC blue teams. Big Reds 3-5 in the MAC blue this year, with Marauders being 1-7. So divisional rival, always more important than ordinary win. Trying to put this one away now. Heath back serving. trying to tie it up. Nice play by Mott. They're going to have to set it over. Plenty of time for the Big Reds to set it up. Good win to Easton, and spiked it and tried to dig it out, but once again, Easton with a good strike at the net, all set up by Goodwin. And we're tied at 19 apiece here in game number 1. Got to play right up the middle. Harville got her hands on it originally, and gonna whistle here. We have a net violation. And that's gonna be 20. It's gonna make it 20 to 19 in favor of the Marauders. As they have Benet back in to serve. That serve short and into the net. And the Big Reds celebrating after that. So it's up to 25, win by 2. Sabrina Wright now serves. That one in, just barely. Great strike on the far side. Sarah Mullins, I believe, was who got to that one. And just able to paint that one just inside the line. Michelle now will serve, and once again into the net, not helping Warren Mott. Seen a lot of serve errors here in game number 1. All tied up, 21-21, and the Big Reds go right back. Now they serve into the net, give point, and the serve back to Warren Mott. And this is Mullins serving. Goodwin with a strike at the net. One-handed. Ball up for grabs. Now gonna have to strike this one over. Nice job by Dorr to dig that one back up, and trying to play the ball back was Taylor, and she's looked very impressive tonight, but unable to on that play. Great play by Dorr. Tied at 22, and now Miranda Dorr will serve. That one deflected off the top of the net, but stayed with the play. And once again, the freshman, Mariah Taylor, outstanding play. As we see the score, 23-22. Back and forth here in game number 1. Jessica Line now to serve. And Harville's big shot into the net. And it'll bounce down. And now Mott 1 point away from taking game number 1. Again with Jessica Line. And I've set this one over, try to drop it in, a little miscommunication by Mott. Far side to the freshman. Nice setup, and trying to go for the big kill was Harville. And that one sails long, so that will do it for game number 1. Warren Mott 25, Port Huron High Big Reds 22. We'll be back for game 2 in just a moment here on CPHS 6. And now we're back with game number 2, tonight's matchup between the Port Huron High Big Reds and the visiting Warren Mott Marauders. Just now getting game number 2 underway after a closely battled game 1. And this time, first points go to the Big Reds. Madison Easton on the far side. And she will sub out, and Sabrina Wright will sub in to serve. Harville's going to be a pretty good strike at that deflected at the net. Nice net play again by Mott. That one trying to paint the back corner. I think it would have. Nice attempt. Nice play to get back there. It's Kozlowski for Warren Mott, number 5. Surprised she was even able to get to that ball. What a point for the Big Reds, and They take a 2-0 lead, and that one off the side of their hands. Make it 3-0, and the Big Reds come out strong. Start game number 2. The way the first game was as back and forth as it was, couldn't see a very close one tonight. That one played out of bounds, and another point for the Big Reds. And again, Wright will serve. I think neither team was probably particularly happy, especially with their serving in game number 1. That one drops in, nice play by Warren Mott, but a lot of points on serves into the net. Something a little uncharacteristic for the Big Reds, so if they can cut down on their mistakes, definitely have a very good shot in tonight's matchup. Benet now serving, and that one just out of bounds. So point and serve back to the Big Reds. Very close on that one. Just barely missed that back line. Gregasevich now serving, and that one low into the net. Obviously a missed strike on that one, not even close, caught the bottom of the net, and that's just some of the mistakes that we saw in game number 1. And both teams were making them, but the Big Reds, you gotta have the mindset that that kind of cost you the game. Nice play on the far side though, trying to come out strong in this game for Melissa Harville. And now Miranda Dorr serving. Nice serve, nice play by Warren Mott. They're gonna get strike at the ball, deflected at the net. Harville and Heath were there. But falls down for a point. Now Sarah Mullins set back to serve. Again, play to Harville. Try to play up the middle. Nice job by Heath rejecting that. Play at the net, and eventually played by Warren Mott, but falls out of bounds. Points again to the Big Reds. Now lead 7-3 here in game number 2. Harville with a serve, and that's a tough one to handle, and wow, beautiful strike from the back row. And I believe that was Mullins once again. Had to kind of set that return. Very tough serve to handle, and got it right back to her, and she hit a strike from the back row. I think it was on a line. Nice setup by Easton. This one just tapped over, but hitting the stick on the net. Will be a point for the Big Reds. Served by Goodwin. I've set this one over. Set to the far side to Easton. Strike, and that one is long. This game going quickly back and forth. Big Reds still with an 8-5 lead. As Allie Flemings now with the serve. Scrambling a little bit on this play is Mott. The Big Reds scrambling themselves. Nice set up at the net. And nice kill attempt, but Dorr was there. And diving for that one. Nice shot by Warren Mott. I believe it was Jessica Line who made the play. Now we'll keep Fleming serving. Still down 2, and nice low serve. Good job digging that one out is Harville. Go all the way down to the floor to get that one. Nice setup. Once again, we see the freshman go up. Harville just puts her hands up, and the rest of the Big Reds around her recover. And eventually Mott sending one long. So now leading 9-6. Heath is back to serve. And that one into the net by Taylor. Mentioned Mariah Taylor, number 7 for the Marauders, playing very well tonight. That serve into the net, then trickles over. Always a tough play. Tough play for Mott, and point for the Big Reds. That one, not sure whether they should have played it in the back corner. But they're asking themselves right now. Fleming was back there. Tough call. That one could have painted the line. Score now 12-6 in favor of the Big Reds. Rebounding strong after losing game number 1. Once again, the freshman goes up strong. And she's not one of the tallest players out there, but she's just rising up to the net. Very impressive to see a freshman playing that well here at the varsity level. And again, also have some very talented sophomores on the Big Reds squad. A nice play as Easton drops that one in. So the score is 13-7 here in game number 2. Sabrina Wright will serve. And tipped at the net. And Savage, now Harville. Now Abrams actually the one that set that one over. Play right up the middle. And knocked back by Mott. And a nice job coming up on the near side. Able to power that one down. Sarah Mullen, she's had a great game. A couple seniors on this Mott team, really impressive thus far. Number 4, Sarah Mullins. Also seeing a lot from Jessica Line, number 11. And Benet back now serving. Still down 5, 13-8, Big Reds. A little miscommunication there. Now Mott is trying to recover. And got the Big Reds turned around after that return. And a little conversation on the Big Reds sideline. As Mitchell upset with a call on the court. Nice play by Harville, drop that one in. Get the serve back to the Big Reds. And Sydney Gregasevich. Nice hard serve. Played well, deflected at the net. That's to the far side, a little far. Nice recovery by Harville to get there. And miscommunication there at the net between Harville and Ahrens. And because of that, ball drops in. Now 14-10. Still leading, but lead starting to dwindle. Nice serve there. Gregasevich unable to play it. Jessica Michella back to serve. Harville striking from out of bounds. Able to hook it in. Nice play by Gregasevich to keep that one alive. And just mishit by the Big Reds and right into the net. And watch out. Marauders are sneaking back into this game. This is game number 2. They did take game number 1. Score 25-22, so it was a back and forth game. That one also sent long. So now just 1 point away from tying this. That one is out of bounds. The Big Reds will get the point and serve back and try to get a little bit of the momentum back. They still lead, but it's been nothing but Warren Mott the past couple minutes. Dorr will serve. Nice serve. Mott having trouble dealing with it. And Mullins strikes that one into the net. And nice play, able to power that one down. Cherish Coleman. Warren Mott has quite a few weapons that they can put in the front row. Coleman being one of them, Taylor another, and now also the person back serving, and Mullins. There's the three that have done the most damage at the net today. Harville is always a threat for the Big Reds. Tried to play that one as it was starting to float out of bounds and hit the pole on the play. And deflected out, so now the Big Reds 17-14 here in game two. Harville back to serve. Even striking from the back row. Mullins is proving to be dangerous. And she did there. Dorr's played well all night on the back line. And he whistled for 2 hits there. So keeping themselves alive for the Marauders. It's a 2-point game. Jessica Line now serving. That serves short and into the net. Big break for the Big Reds. Now back is Brittany Goodwin. And that one's going to be whistled out. Trying to paint the sideline there. Just missed. So the lead will stay at 2. And now Fleming will serve. Nice play by Dorr to get to that serve. Now she's going to strike from the back row. Good strike into it. Got it to the freshman on the near side. And great job by the Big Reds keeping that one in play. Easton just strikes that one into the net, and now it's a 1-point game. (18-17), Big Reds lead by 1. Harville striking from the back. And miscommunication by Mott. See if Big Red's able to set anything up. Easton's going to try to set one in there. Once again, the freshman going up strong. Great job keeping that play alive by Goodwin. Far side and able to put it away. That's Nicole Howaba. And now we're tied at 18-18 here in game number 2. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a timeout very soon by the Big Reds as this one's starting to slip away. And that one played back but out of bounds, and now the Marauders with the lead. Going on a nice little serving run is Allie Fleming. Nice setup for the far side for Easton. And just unable to strike that one. And now we'll have a timeout for the Big Reds. Hopefully it's not too late. Warren Mott with all of the momentum right now and a 2-point lead. Big Reds ahead in most of this game, but the Marauders coming back late. And they now lead 20-18. Again, talking about some of the seniors playing in, recognizing the seniors before the game. Number 2, Caitlin Heath. Number 8, Melissa Harville. And number 11, Madison Easton. So only 3 seniors on the Big Reds team. Shows how much youth they have, and they have a lot of talent in these young players. So definitely will be good for seasons to come. Also wish the seniors the best moving forward. And now they just have to stop this run that Mott's putting together. Again, up to 20-18. See how they come out of the timeout. And Easton once again, and she's struggling here late in this game. Had a great game in game number 1. Struggling the last couple times they got the ball to her here late, and that's the biggest break the Big Reds needed there. Eventually a serve into the net. Give the Big Reds a point and the serve back. And now let's see what the senior Heath can do with it. Score is 21-19 in favor of Warren Mott. Big block at the net. And eventually drops in. Aarons and Easton were in on the block at the net. Now back within 1 are the Big Reds. Goodwin's gonna have to strike this one away from the net. Tough shot. And just couldn't get it over the net. So now subbing in, we'll have Kozlowski to serve, as she finds her team only 3 points away from taking game 2. Nice play, just tipping that one over. And then Mullins, and they try to set it deep and just barely out of bounds. And very, very close. Looked like it almost caught some of that line back there. But now with 23-20, the Marauders lead in game 2. And the Big Reds would definitely have to feel as if Warren Mott stole this game if they do end up winning. Marauders coming back late after the Big Reds controlled most of the start. This one serve into the net. Somehow they got a hand on that. It'll eventually fall. I'm surprised they even kept that one alive. Back was actually to the net. And serve was into the net, but trickled over. Somehow able to pop it up, and looked like they almost got it back over. So now we'll have a timeout by Warren Mott. They're still up 1. Score is 23-22 in favor of the Marauders. Again, they won game 1, 25-22. So both back and forth games. It will still be the Big Reds serve out of the timeout. Heath, I believe, is the server. I take that back. It's actually Sabrina Wright. Trying to even it up here at 23. And that one's in. Great strike again from Mullins. And now 1 point away from taking game number 2. Jacqueline Benet trying to win it right here. Big Reds has got to play mistake-free now. Still in this one. Big dig by Dorr. And Harville tries to drop one in. One up for the block at the net. This play by Gregasevich. And then they get 2 hits as that ball got caught in the net by Jessica Line. And this win by 2. As we see the score 24-23, so a point for Warren Mott still would meet a victory. A point for the Big Reds, and all tied up and back. That one bounced off the roof. Tough play. Once again, Dorr coming in. Harville on the far side. Hit it and then trickles over the net. Just danced on top of the net there for a while. Once again, nice play by Dorr. And then Harville drops it in, and somehow Warren Mott's able to keep this line. Long volley. You can tell this is an important point. Both teams making very little mistakes. Harville with the strike there. And that one eventually gets down. Sarah Mullins again with the kill, and that does it for game 2, 25-23 Marauders. We're back for game 3 in just a moment here on CPHS 6. All right, and we're back with game number 3 of tonight's matchup between the Port Huron High Big Reds and the visiting Warren Mott Marauders. Again, both MAC Blue teams in division game. And so far it's been the Marauders, at least in the game score. But they've been back and forth games. And striking first in this one is going to be Warren Mott, as they take a 1-0 lead. That brings in Benet to serve. And Harville trying to play that one on the near side. They're trying to say that, Harville was trying to say that came in contact with someone from Warren Mott. Officials didn't hear any of that. And say a long 2-0 lead here in game number 3, excuse me. That one played at the net, able to dig it out. And eventually dropped in. Great recovery by the Big Reds there. As it looked like they had 2 players that went up for the ball, got caught in the net, and able to play it on the way down and come away with the point. Rajkasevich serving. Deflected at the net. Nice dive by Goodwin. Keep it alive. We're going to get an illegal hit on the Big Reds. So the Marauders now lead 3-1. And again, talking about these games, both these games could have easily went either way. Seeing some mistakes by both teams and just mistakes at the wrong time for the Big Reds. As they played very well for a team that's down 2 games. Long rally here. And that one sailing far wide. So now we have Warren Mott off to a strong start in this game, up 4-1. It was all Big Reds in the beginning of last game. And coming back was Warren Mott. Nice play at the net by Cherish Coleman. Talked about how Mott has a lot of players that played the net well. And one player who really came out strong at the end of the last game was number 4, Sarah Mullins. Striking from anywhere on the court. There's Mullins on the far side. Nice try to pin it down in the middle, and that's going to be 4 hits. Nice play to even get to that ball by Melissa Harville. And now 6-1. Is Michelle still serving. Diving attempt for that, but once again put away by Coleman. And Mott is rolling here early. This has got to be close to the biggest lead that we've seen by either team today. And it keeps growing. Mistake there for the Big Reds. Another point for the Marauders. And yet we'll have a timeout from Coach Megan Mitchell of the Big Reds. And then we see the huddle for the Marauders. Obviously happy with their start here in game number 3. And just overall with their resiliency tonight. Again, being down most of the second game. Well, they come back and win it late, 25-23. And winning a close one in game number 1, 25-22. So they have been close matches tonight. So overall in the season, the Marauders are 15-21. The Big Reds are 12-24. Big Reds with a better record in the MAC Blue at 3-5, with the Marauders being 1-7. So division rivals, kind of late in the season, doesn't really have much to do with any kind of playoffs or anything. And coming out of the timeout strong are the Big Reds. But still, you try to gear it up a little bit more for your division rivals. And now Miranda Dorr will serve. She's had a great game today, especially in the back row, dealing with a lot of these kill attempts by the Marauders. Quite a few digs today. Nice block of the net, far side. Goodwin and Heath were there. And then eventually float one in was Mullins. And she'll go back now to serve, up 9-2. And great serve there, dropping in for a point between the back and the front row. Tough play for the Big Reds, great serve. So Mullins will get to serve again. Same spot, this time Dorr's right there ready for it. Harville, big play at the net, and somehow diving, able to keep it alive and then finish it. Great individual effort by Maria Taylor. Saved that ball originally and then played it over and called for it back, and then went with the kill on the far side. Great play by the freshman. Again, been very impressed by her tonight. Big Reds with a nice play up the middle. They're going to get a net foul on Warren Mott. So a point for the Big Reds, and they need all the points they can get right now. Marauders up 11-3. Deflected at the net, and then Gregasevich play it. Now Harville striking from the back row. That one unsuccessful and into the net. We'll send Jessica Line back to serve with a 12-3 lead, so definitely growing into the biggest leads we've seen today. And Easton struggling with that one. Struggled with that late in game number 2 after having a very strong first game. Now down 10. Not what you expected to see the Big Reds come out as here in game number 3. I thought they almost looked like the better team in the first 2 games, but just got some unfortunate bounces. Long Valley rally here. And we'll get a foul on the Marauders. I think it was an over the net call. So Big Red's trying to close the gap. And This time the foul was on the Big Reds. So serve and point back to the Marauders. Still up 10, 14-4 here in game number 3. Set to the far side to the freshman. Coming up, good win. And a huge strike from the back row. Diving for that serve, unable to handle it. Great serve by Heath. Score is 14-6 Marauders. That serve short into the net, not the break the Big Reds needed. Kozlowski will now come in to serve. Easton plays it in the back row. A good win, and Gregasevich. And that one coming up, trying to strike it. And falls down into the net. Serve for the Big Reds. That will send Sabrina right back. And once again, the Big Reds not helping their cause. We're going to serve into the net. And the mistakes are really starting to pile up here in game number 3. Got a serve into the net going back the other way. This time from Nicole Dunn. Now Gregasevich will drop back. The server for the Big Reds now. Just got to focus on getting it over. Tough strike there behind her head. Trying to make a play on that is Michelle. And once again, a serve short and into the net. Big Reds just need to play mistake-free as they're now down 17-9. Unfortunately, a lot of that is their own doing. Good play there, set up. And Harville sends that one a bit long. Point for Warren Mott. See, plays like that are a little more understandable. Got a nice strike at the net. And just somewhat missed on it, but all the serve errors and other things that you can control, that's what really has been killing the Big Reds tonight. And they're especially adding up here in game 3. One person who hasn't been struggling most of the night, put it away there, and Sarah Mullins. Again coming up strong for the Marauders. Now up 19-9. Again with a 10-point lead. As Michelle serves. Big Reds with plenty of time to set this one up. Get to Ahrens. A nice play up the middle. Very well played point by the Big Reds. Now Miranda Dorr. Served well earlier. See if she can get on some kind of run for the Big Reds. That one blocked at the net after a nice play by Coleman. Going up strong. Nice play back there. And now scores 19-11. Still an aggressive serve. Went over and we'll get 2 hits. Or a violation there, either way. on the Big Reds. They signaled for 2 hits, and that will send Mullins back. Score now 20-11, and that call really taking out any momentum that they're starting to build, but and again, come back with the point. Nice play by Heath, and that will send Harville back to serve. Serve deflected off the net. Still set up a nice play for Warren Mott, but that one sails long. Score is now 20-13 as they chase that ball into the Aux gym there. They typically have some JV players doing that. And comes out the other side. Playing tricks, trying to see if our cameraman's actually paying attention. And he caught on quick enough. Nice job by Chris Orrell there on camera. As Harville tried to give him the slip. Meanwhile on the court, Big Red still fighting through this long rally. And once again, the freshman comes up strong. Mariah Taylor. And it is now 21-13. Talk about how games 1 and 2 back and forth. This game's been all Marauders. That serve deflecting off the net. Easton tried to get to it. And it will fall down 22-13. 3 points away from a three consecutive game win. That would take the match. Nice play up the middle, Heath. And the Big Reds still keeping their chances alive. And we'll bring Goodwin back to serve, but you don't want to get in a situation where you're playing on your final points, worried to make any mistake at all. So got to start making a run now, and great play there. And not much the Big Reds can do. Nice diving attempt by Greg Asevich. And they're down to their last 2 points. Fleming will serve. 23-14 in game 3. Big strike by Easton, and that one goes long. Now 1 point away from victory. 24-14. Again, Fleming to serve. That one unable to be played at the net by Michelle for Warren Mott. So 24-15. I'll send Heath back, and got to start a huge run now. No mistakes. Well, it's Marauders' game. That one's long. Blocked at the net. Keep it alive was Ahrens. Freshman goes up a strike. Kept alive by Easton. Floats over barely. And Goodwin with the play. Now Easton tries to set it over. That one possibly would have went out of bounds. Tough call. Goodwin's got a strike from the back row. Set it up. The Big Reds unable to dig that one out of the net, so that will do it for the final game. 25-16, and Warren Mott will take the match. 3 games to none. Game score being 25-22, 25-23, and 25-16. Warren Mott wins it in 3 straight over the Port Huron High Big Reds. We'd like to thank you all for joining us here on CPHS 6. I'm Carl Staffors. Good night.